June 24th, 2009. Michael Jackson walked into the Staples Center in Los Angeles for what would be the final rehearsal of his life. Cameras captured him dancing, smiling, alive. Less than 24 hours later, the King of Pop would be found unresponsive in a rented mansion. The world was told it was a cardiac arrest. But was that the whole story? Today, we take you inside Michael Jackson's final day, moment by moment, and reveal the strange, uncomfortable details that were quietly buried. June 24th, 11:51 p.m. Jackson returns home to his rented mansion in Holmby Hills. His personal doctor, Conrad Murray, is already waiting. Michael is exhausted. He hasn't slept properly in days. He pleads with Murray for something stronger than sleeping pills. That something is Propofol. Propofol isn't a sleeping aid. It's a powerful anesthetic, used to knock people out before surgery. It should never be used outside a hospital. At 1:30 a.m., Dr. Murray gives in. He administers a mix of sedatives, first lorazepam, then midazolam, and finally Propofol. He sets up an IV drip. Then he leaves the room. 11 a.m., June 25th. Jackson's staff grows concerned. He hasn't come out of his room. At 11:43 a.m., Dr. Murray enters and finds Michael Jackson not breathing. But what happens next is bizarre. Murray doesn't immediately call 911. He claims he performed CPR on a soft bed for nearly an hour. Anyone with basic medical training knows CPR must be done on a firm surface. Murray, a licensed doctor, should have known that. So why the delay? At 12:21 p.m., nearly 40 minutes later, a 911 call is finally placed. Paramedics arrive within minutes. They find Jackson unresponsive and cold to the touch. Dr. Murray doesn't mention Propofol. He simply says, Jackson is having a bad reaction. They try everything. For 42 minutes, they attempt to resuscitate him before transporting him to UCLA Medical Center. At 2:26 p.m., Michael Jackson is pronounced dead. What happens after Jackson's death raises even more questions. Dr. Murray is seen removing medical equipment from the room before authorities arrive. Vials, tubing, evidence. Then he disappears. For 2 days, the man who was with Michael Jackson in his final moments is completely unreachable. When police finally find him, they discover what the coroner later confirms. Jackson had lethal levels of Propofol in his system. This was no bad reaction. This was a fatal dose of a drug that never should have been in that house. Several details just don't add up. Security footage from the mansion is missing. Dr. Murray's timeline keeps changing. Why was a cardiologist in charge of administering a surgical anesthetic? Some say Michael Jackson was a ticking time bomb, overworked, under pressure, and drowning in $500 million of debt. Others believe he was systematically exploited, a money machine for the people around him, until the very end. News of his death spread like wildfire. Outside the hospital, fans gathered in shock. Candlelight vigils appeared worldwide. Over 1 billion people watched his memorial service. Michael Jackson's music returned to the top of the charts, but even as the world celebrated his life, many wondered whether we had been told the full truth about his death. Michael Jackson's final 24 hours were filled with desperation, exhaustion, and unanswered questions. Was it an accident? Or was it the final chapter of a man pushed past his limits by a system that didn't care if he lived, only that he kept performing? The greatest entertainer of our time didn't die on stage. He died alone, in a rented house, asking for sleep, and someone made sure he never woke up. If this shocked you, Wait until you hear what Walt Disney really planned for Epcot. Subscribe now.